A couple weeks ago, there was a donation for me to play the BZ-75 on livestream. However, I was on my press account, and it had just so turned out that that was the only tank Wargaming had not purchased for me on the account, and they didn't give me any free XP, so I just wasn't able to play the vehicle. So, to make up for that, today, I'm going to do a video on the BZ-75. Yes, I know, it's probably like the 18,000th video I've posted on this vehicle, but I'm never going to complain because I actually really like this tank. It's one of those vehicles that when I first got it, really struggled, but I think that was mainly down to the fact that it was new, everybody was tunneling it, and because of that, it just wasn't doing great. But after it's been out for a while, and the majority of players think this tank is absolutely dookie, I've actually had a lot of fun playing in it. The gun slaps incredibly hard, and the mobility, paired with the low profile and 8 degrees of gun depression, actually makes this vehicle very flexible, unlike basically any other Soviet or Chinese style heavy in the game. Because of that, I've actually really been enjoying this vehicle. I think gun depression on any tank elevates the enjoyment by a lot. When you're driving an IS-4 or an IS-7 and you have something that gets hull down up against you, you absolutely hate life because you're just exposing your hull every time to try and trade with somebody that is hiding their weak points and staying hull down. But in this tank, you don't need to worry about that because you have gun depression. The thing you have to worry about in this vehicle is the fact that you don't have much turret armor, and that shells can cut very easily through the turret if people know where to aim. Now, we actually have a grill right in front of me, and my HE penned, but did indeed low roll, but that's probably because the grill was running Spaliner. I didn't get the best look to find out. But still a pretty solid chunk into his vehicle, and I'm not going to get all too mad about that. We're going to aim it on the lower plate of the Badger. There you go. 700 damage chunk right into his vehicle. This is why the BZ feels nice, is that it hits hard in general. And while it may not feature a lot of DPM, you don't need damage per minute to hurt your opponents quite a lot. We can see that Badger is still out in the open. We're going to wait for him to turn. There you go. 670 damage shell. Girl shoots me, but I could care less. I mean, we've bled about 1,000 health, and in return we've dealt almost double that. And we've also bled out a lot of HP on the enemy team. We have the Yo. We have the 50B. And let's see what we can do. Come on. Come on, poke it. Poke it, Leopard, I believe. Oh, there you go. That's what I was waiting for. Haha, 1150. Yeah, I was tempted to shoot the AMX 50B, but I knew that there was no benefit to shooting that player when I could hit a Leopard with a standard HE, which deals a lot more damage. So at this point, we're already basically steamrolling the enemy team. They are not doing all too well. The Jagdpanzer pokes the Chieftain and gets an absolutely glorious slap into the side of his tank. Chieftain doesn't look like he wants to play with the Yag anymore, which is a little surprising. Usually when I get shot by a Yag, I'm going to try and get as many shells back into that player as possible. But it seems like that Chieftain just didn't care, just wanted to ignore the Yag. That's fine though. We're going to get behind this M6 Yo. We're going to load in an HE. Not able to really pen him in the side with an HE. There was a brief moment where I was able to, but I don't really see any reason to do so when we can just back up here and get the Yo killed by our Progetto. So, pretty solid game. 3,800 damage dealt. And we didn't even need to do that much. This is why the BZ feels nice, is that, as you saw, the gun depression was great. We were able to work the park very easily. The only player that even shot us was the Grill. And in return, we absolutely deleted certain tanks. 1150 off the enemy Progetto. We penned the Badger twice, granted not with Hesh, but still with AP. And then we got a nice shell into the Grill as well. That was just a super easy game. And then we finished off with an 800 roll into the side of the M6 Yo. Just like that, 3,900 damage. So let's do one more game and see if the BZ can keep it going. 5 on Mines. And this is a map that I actually really like. A lot of people hate Mines. They'll say it's the worst map in the game, and that's because of the hill, I guess. But I really like this map. Mainly down to the fact that I can work this hill, especially in a vehicle like the BZ that has enough gun depression and it has a very big alpha. I can take advantage of anything that tries going up the hill. Now, they do have a lot of mobility. They have a Boss Chatillon 25-ton and an M48 Patton, and unfortunately, our team is not doing anything to even spot the players they have going up the hill, which is really annoying, judging that we have 3 tank destroyers. So we can see that the Boss Chatillon is already up top the hill. Pretty annoying, especially because I'm going to have to deal with that. But the good news is that at least we are holding this hill. Let's hope this E4 pokes. It looks like he was almost going to, but then he didn't. Alright, well, we're just going to wait here. The trick for mines is just waiting. We can see that we have an AMX M4 that went wide, and looks like the rest of our heavies are going wide as well, which is very unhelpful for the rest of everybody else. But I'm just going to wait. We have the Leopard off to the side, and we have the IS-7 in mid. We got the Yo, who's crossing, and the Boss Chatillon was able to cross over there, but that's fine with me because it's one less player I really have to deal with. So what I'm hoping is that the Yo gets spotted, but it was a little too late by the time he got detected. He was able to get into a pretty safe spot. Alright, well, we're just waiting. Let's see, is the E4 going to poke me? Nope, not yet. Leopard's getting some good bleeds out there. I'm just worried that the Boss Chatillon's going to shoot me. That's what I'm mainly worried about right now. Oh, that E4 poked his tank for a moment there. Boss Chatillon's actually spotted. Okay. IS-7 shot. Patton's detected. I wonder if we can just get to the side of this E4. And there you go. Slam an HE for 780 damage right into his tank. That's gotta hurt him a lot. Now we have the enemy Boss Chatillon, and the E4 is gonna poke me. However, I'm not too... Oh, wow, that's a really big mistake from you, E4. There you go. Another 800 damage off of his vehicle. Where's my support? Where did all the TDs go that were covering me? Did they all leave? Like, what am I looking at, bruh? Alright, well, it doesn't really matter. We still kind of deleted the enemy team. IS-7 can't do much to me, and I'm just going to wait here. He misses the shell. We have the Patton, and not able to hit the Patton just yet, but we should, there you go, be able to slam a shell into the enemy Boss Chatillon. And the AMX has decided to come over here and help, which is also quite nice. So we're actually in a pretty good position. This is, again, where the alpha damage of this tank feels just fantastic. You're able to get these big slaps out, and yeah, there you go. And make sure that your opponents don't really have much of a counter. So we kind of deleted that M48 Patton. Unfortunately, the grill gets cleared in the process. I don't like the Boss Chatillon being back there at all. But he's going to shoot at my AMX, which means we should hopefully be able to sit here. We're going to load in an HE, and when he shoots that last shell and backs in the cover, that's when we hit him in the side. And there you go. We got the clear. So, actually, quite solid stuff coming from our vehicle. We're at 3,200 damage dealt. The only player left I give a single crap about is the IS-7, because this guy's got a juicy chunk of HP, especially right on the back of his turret here. That's what we're going to aim in on with an HE. Oh, there you go. 772 damage. Our teammate finishes him off. That was another 4K game. This is why I actually think the BZ75 is a really good vehicle. For the previous bunch of lines that Wargaming has released into the game, they've been quite unengaging. You know, the VZ55, it's an alright tank, and it's quite fun, but there's just not much going for it compared to other heavies. Like, you could get an IS-7, and you'll probably do better in the majority of scenarios, especially with the IS-7 pen buff. And, you know, the WZ-132-1, I actually really like that light, but for the majority of players, it's a terrible tank, and it's probably just a worse Leopard 1. The CS-63 still needs a buff, and Wargaming's not touching it, so that leaves us with the BZ-75. And this is one of the only tanks that Wargaming did, I think, a proper job balancing. It has a derp gun, but it's not overpowered. It sacrifices its DPM and pen to work with the derp. But when you can get it to work, it feels absolutely amazing, and I really enjoy playing in this tank. We can see that these are the only two battles I've played in it yet, but 4K average and two really solid games in general. Let me know what you guys think about the BZ75 in the comments down below, but I would say that this is honestly a great line. It's fantastic to grind, starting from the Tier 7, Tier 8, and 9, all are amazing. And once you get to the Tier 10, you have two very solid gun options. If you don't know how to work the derp cannon, that's fine, because you got a 130, which is great. And if you want to experiment every now and then with the derp gun, you can. So I actually have nothing bad to say about the line. I think the whole tank is great, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.